Rahul Mirchandani, Chairman of Aries Group, handsome, dynamic, and driving the business in a big way. I see three generations working. Incidentally, unfortunately, I would say I didn't meet Mr. Mirchandani, but Rahul, amazing leader, a human being, and he has got his son Arman also here. Rahul, all yours.
I'm here actually playing two roles. I'm Dr. Rahul Mirchandani. I'm the chairman of Aries Agro Limited, as well as I am the president of the Indian Microfertilizer Manufacturers Association. This association basically covers almost 80% of the microfertilizer industry, and we're all together, and we have about a dozen members who are actually here presenting during the next 2 days as well. So this is the two roles I'm going to be playing. I will be talking to you about integrated nutrient management, something that we've been doing for the last 55 years. And I've had the privilege of leading a company for the last 30 years who predominantly only focuses on micronutrients and specialty fertilizers. The Indian Microfertilizer Manufacturers Association has been around for the last 4 decades. We're very proud, like I said, to have a seat on the table on almost every conceivable fertilizer policy-making body that talks about microfertilizer and its benefits. We also are members of global and Indian associations, as well as we host our own national flagship summit, which brings together the entire microfertilizer industry in one place. IMA and its members constitute 80% of the microfertilizer industry. We have been pioneers in various technologies that we've brought into the market, and I am going to be talking about them as we go along. My own company, Aries Agro, we are in the business for the last 55 years. We are pioneers in chelation in India. We brought the technology of chelation to the Indian market in the 1970s. It remains the bedrock of everything we do. Our company has been in this market for the last 55 years. We have 11 million farmers who bought from us last year, and a total of 130 brands, giving the agroclimatic and fertilizer requirements for almost 120 different crops. That's the kind of range and scale that Aries has built up. And we're very proud that we have actually written the chapter for agriculture double farm income with Niti Aayog, and we managed to bring in the fact that balanced nutrition must be recognized as a national imperative and not as an also-ran within any fertilizer policy. So it is fertilization which is really going to be the foundation of doubling farm income, and that is a part of policy today that we have been able to put together. This is, of course, snippets from the Balanced Plant Nutrition Handbook. This is, of course, released by the Prime Minister. It's part of our Double Farm Income Committee. And of course talks about the fact that balanced crop nutrition, including all fertilizing elements, must be an essential part of policy. More importantly, it says we must shift from pest management to crop nutrition management, simply because in any man's country, food is always cheaper than medicine. And unfortunately, many people talk on medicine, but they don't talk about feeding the crops correctly. And that is really where balanced nutrition comes in, and you're able to build farm productivity as a result of that. Our status of Indian soils have become extremely weak in terms of nutrition. Almost 36% of soils are deficient in zinc, 23% of soils are deficient in boron, and 12% of soils are now deficient in iron. Now, this basically shows you that almost the soils of India need to be rejuvenated. And this rejuvenation happening through sustainable technologies is the way that we are advocating as an industry, sustainable and innovative technologies that do not harm the soil but help rejuvenate soil systems. If you look at the micronutrient segmentation, the Microfertilizer Association that we had actually commissioned a research project on what are the deficiency status and usage status of Indian soils. You will find 42% of the Indian market uses zinc fertilizers, 18% uses boron, 16% uses iron, which basically shows a perfect correlation between the usage trends and the deficiency trends. Also signaling the fact that we are actually promoting the right nutrients at the right time. It is not that farmers are being left on their own to try and promote technologies. No, we are actually promoting technologies in a very scientific manner, which points to this kind of a usage trend, which marries in with the deficiency trends. In terms of the crop-specific requirements, 65% of our requirements are on cereals. We have for 15% on fruits and vegetables, 12% on pulses and oilseeds. This is the kind of usage trends that are taking place in the microfertilizer sector. Look at the kind of growth we have. Every conceivable nutrient in terms of awareness and growth has actually moved. The kind of deficiency trends for copper, we have a 21% increase in copper sulfate, 12% in manganese, 8% in borax, 12% in ferrous, and 1.4% in zinc, which means every nutrient is seeing a huge increase in terms of utilization across spectrums, across geographies. Look at the segment by category. You will find here that it is not just the traditional fertilizers and micronutrient segments that are getting affected. Every segment, if you look at the microfertilizer segment, we have an overall CAGR of 7%, but you will notice that multi-micronutrient mixtures, which is where combinations of fertilizers are put in, chelated micronutrients, straight micronutrients, and fortified micronutrients, all four segments are actually growing, and they are growing in similar fashions, which means farmers are adopting technologies, not just traditional technologies, but are now being open to use all the new generation tech as well. What is causing all of this growth? I think it's important. Yes, seeing the numbers is great, but what is below this growth? What actually drives this growth? And you will find that many of our companies are actually focusing on training farmers on addressing deficiencies in very innovative methods. I think the innovative methods of actually getting the technologies out there which will train farmers, track the deficiency, and then tame the soil. I think that's really the kind of growth that's taking place. And of course, the fact that high quality produce, the fact that farmers want to use sustainable technologies, all of this is driving the growth, apart from the fact that awareness built by companies like ours on the using of the right technologies to address soils is actually what farmers are adopting now. The impact on human health has also been mapped. In fact, we commissioned a research in Hyderabad with the National Institute of Nutrition that looked at how micronutrient deficiencies in soils have now affecting human health in India. And this is one of the biggest kind of drivers by saying make people understand that it's not just their crop health, but also their kids' health, which is getting affected because of the fact that micronutrient nutrition is not being addressed significantly. The emerging opportunities. This is all a post-mortem of where we are today. What is the future of this industry? The future of this industry is going to talk about using of chelates, sustainable technologies, technologies which are non-reactive, safe delivery systems for nutrients, which is what chelation does, and that is perhaps one of the biggest growth drivers. The use of nanotechnology, high-density products is another emerging technology. We're also looking at customization. No farmer likes a one-size-fits-all solution. They don't expect it, we shouldn't deliver it. And using customization as a value driver is perhaps one of the biggest game changers. Any labor and water-saving technology will also be an emerging opportunity. And future-proofing our agriculture with micro-irrigation, drone systems, drought-resistant seeds, artificial intelligence-based weather predictions can also help drive smart agriculture in India. What are the trends? The trends, therefore, just to summarize, high-density fertilizers are an emerging trend. You will find out there, my own company does this in a large way, high-density fertilizers which reduce the dose significantly. Nanofertilizers, which go further and basically look at safer delivery systems using very, very micro doses. Slow-release micronutrient pastilles. Yes, this is for foliar application. On the soil, can we use pastilles which slow-release nutrients onto soils? Organically certified plant solutions, and automated manufacturing facilities. Believe me, India has the capability to be the supplier of the world in terms of world-class nutrition. I mean, we've been doing it. We're a proudly made in India company since 1969. A lot of the IMA members are also very proudly made in India. And I think this is the kind of technologies that we are putting in the market. And this is not the future, this is the present. These are all present technologies that we are advocating in the market, and millions of farmers are now using these technologies. Coming to what my company does, just a little bit about our own work. We have been pioneers in chelates. We actually founded IMA. IMA members, as well as our Aries, have been pioneers in chelation technology the last 5 decades. We are only doing chelation in this country. Every single metal chelate is now recognized in the FCO, thanks to the work that our association did to get it recognized. So today, each of these nutrients are now recognized as fertilizers. We also look at natural chelates apart from synthetic chelates. It's not just using EDTA chelates or DTPA chelates. It is the use of amino acid-based chelates, soya protein-based chelates, which basically will further enhance the safety and efficacy of chelation technology. These are also now recognized in the fertilizer control order, and we are very proud to have products that take this spectrum as well. We are talking here about balanced nutrition. We cannot go there without crop-specific formulations. These are some of the brands that we have in the market where crop-specific NPKs, secondary and micronutrients are brought in a single formula and given in micro doses to the farmer so that he gets exactly what he needs. Leave the complexity in your factory, make it simple to the farmer. I think that's really what we try to do. We have a massive amount of variables, but can I deal with it in my automated factories? And a farmer gets a product labeled as such, meant for wheat, meant for your state, meant for your soil condition, and give it to him capable to be used immediately. Slow release pastilles, I think for soil applications, sulfur is an emerging deficiency. We do have a fact that India requires heavy amount of sulfur, and we are looking at zinc with sulfur, boron with sulfur, and multi-micronutrient with sulfur today, all recognized under the FCO. High density products. We are very proud that my own company has eliminated its dependence on China completely. We do not import water-soluble fertilizers from China. We make our own high-density NPKs today in India. And it's proudly made in India. High-density reduced the dose of traditional fertilizers to 20% of the traditional water-soluble doses coming in from China. Again, very proudly made in India. And every grade is today manufactured in India without any dependence on the Chinese imports. Global organic certification, I think that's something many of our companies are working towards. How can we get globally organically certified so that companies the world over, farmers the world over know they are using safe emerging technologies that are made in India. All of this, sorry, just one second. Adopting this drone tech, you'll see a lot of drones outside. Our own company is the first DGCA certified civil aviation certified drone manufacturer in India. We are very proud that we have got a technology that now is in the market for the last 3 years and is being adopted extremely well by farmer, but we use a spray as a service model. It's not that the farmer is buying it. We've Uberized a drone where basically they can book on an app and say, this is the time I want you to come and do a spray for me. And that's how we take spraying as a service as an emerging technology. And lastly, all of this data is useless unless we deliver this information digitally to the farmers using the India Agri Stack. It's a phenomenal resource. YouTube channels, Facebook pages where farmers are all the time looking for information. We had a session on watermelon. We had 32,000 farmers log in at a single point of time just to look at the session. Farmers have adopted digital technologies in ways that we can never comprehend. Customer loyalty programs, WhatsApp bots, satellite image solutions, weather and pest management. All of these are information delivery systems that India has today and farmers are adopting in extremely well and significant ways. So I do hope that this gives you an overview of how balanced nutrition and companies like us who are pioneers and leaders in balanced nutrition have been able to put in the Indian market, and the fact that we can be the suppliers to not only India but the world market in terms of these emerging technologies. We do have a publication on the latest research in micronutrients that the association has put together. It is available for you to purchase online, and it captures the latest research for all of you to look at on our emerging technologies and especially micronutrients. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Amazing. Thanks, Rahul, indeed. Just stay back for a minute. Very interesting thing is going to happen after this. I invite CS to, please. CS, awesome. You know, CS is globally called awesome. To break. Come. So please honor Rahul. I invite Debu. Hi dear Debu, Deva Pratap. Yes, you know that I'm calling you with a purpose. Something very interesting is going to happen immediately after this. So please hand over the plaque to Rahul. Debu is chairman of Agma Energy. Of course, CS, everybody knows, is chairman of Pacific Agri Sciences, Singapore. Thank you, Rahul ji. Thank you so much. Please stay back.